My name is Megan Harris. I'm 28 years old and the sole heir to the Harris Family Trust Fund. My father built a $300 million fortune on Wall Street over 30 years. Before he passed away, he held my hand and said,
"Megan, this money isn't for you to waste. It's so you never have to bow your head to anyone, no matter what."
I remember it, but I never thought the one person I least needed to bow to would become the person I most wanted to see kneel. My fiancé is Alexander Cooper, a partner at Manhattan's top law firm, handsome, respectable, flawless. We've been together for 3 years. He never raised his voice at me, never forgot a single anniversary. All my friends said, "Megan, you must have saved the planet in your past life." My cousin Sophia, my only cousin, is also my wedding planner. We grew up together. After my parents died, she was the closest person I had left in the world. She picked my wedding dress, booked the venue, designed the invitations. Every detail was so perfect it made you want to cry. Today is our wedding day. I'm sitting in the bride's room while the makeup artist applies my lipstick. Outside the window is the blue water of Long Island Sound. 200 guests are seated, and the white rose arch glints in the sun. Alexander is changing in the next room. His best man is Jack, his college roommate and law firm partner. Everything is perfect. Too perfect. My phone vibrates. An anonymous email. Subject line, "Your wedding, their deal." Attachment, an encrypted file. I thought it was a prank, but curiosity made me open it. It took me 2 minutes to crack the password, my birthday. Inside are dozens of PDF pages, audio recordings, and bank transfer records. I scroll through them one by one, and my fingers go cold. The makeup artist asks if I'm okay. I say I'm fine and tell her to step out for a minute. Once the door closes, I read every single piece of evidence from start to finish. Alexander, Jack, Sophia. 3 people. My fiancé best man, my cousin. They've been plotting for 2 years. Their only goal, after marriage, drain the trust fund my father left me, bit by bit, under the pretense of marital joint debt. The files contain their chat logs about tricking me into signing investment agreements. Sophia giving them all my account info and passwords. Jack drafting hidden clause in the prenuptial agreement as their lawyer. And even the split of the stolen money. 40% to Alexander, 40 to Jack, 20 to Sophia. And this wedding today is the final step in their plan. After the vows, a surprise investment agreement will be waiting for me to sign at the reception. They say a bride is most agreeable when she's happy. She'll say yes to anything. I look at myself in the mirror in my wedding dress, lipstick only half applied. First to my private attorney, second to my forensic accountant, third to a contact at the NYPD Financial Crimes Division. I look in the mirror, finish the other half of my lipstick, and smile. Not the smile of a happy bride, the smile of a woman who has decided to ruin her own wedding. It took me 20 minutes to go through all the evidence. One line in Alexander and Sophia's chat sticks with me most. That's why she's worth this price. My cousin, my only family, describes me in text like a lamb to the slaughter, and she uses the phrase, "this price." I don't cry. Crying is for people who still have time to be heartbroken. I only have 40 minutes. My message to my lawyer is one sentence. Need you at the wedding. Bring all legal documents. I want aunt's notarization. To my forensic accountant, monitor these 3 accounts. Scanshot and save any fund movement immediately. To the police, I forward the entire evidence file with a note. Meet me at the door after the wedding. I look at her. Her eyelashes were extensions, and her lips were painted my favorite mauve color. She's wearing a champagne bridesmaid's dress, hair styled perfectly. She looks like a cousin genuinely happy for her sister. If not for those chat logs, I would never have doubted her. Almost ready. On ahead. Give me 5 minutes. Sophia Harris, my dear cousin. You grew up with me, I'll grow old with you? No. After today, we'll probably see each other in court. I've been preparing for this moment for a long time. I start planning something crazy. I will walk down the aisle on time. I will smile and say my vows. I will exchange rings in front of everyone. I will make all 3 of them show their faces on the big screen in front of 200 guests. Not as groom, best man, and wedding planner, but as the mastermind, accomplice, and accessory to a financial fraud. In 15 minutes, I compress the dozens of PDFs and audio files into a 5-minute video. The soundtrack I choose myself, not the wedding march, but My Way, my father's favorite song. He used to say the song was right, I did it my way. He used to say the song was right, I did it my way. Today, I'll have this wedding my way. Or rather, ruin it my way. The video opens with a photo, my father and me in his office, when I was 21, fresh out of college. Beneath it, the money my father built in 30 years. Someone tried to steal it in 3 days. Then the chat screenshots, bank transfer records, audio transcripts, flipping by to the tune of My Way. The last frame is a group photo of Alexander, Jack, and Sophia. They're today's groom, groomsman, and wedding planner. And they're all lying to me too. I save the video to my phone and set up the casting password. The hotel ballroom has a big screen, originally meant for our wedding photo slide shade. I'd given casting access to Sophia long ago, but now I take it back from her, using her password, the one she told me was for the wedding system but actually used for transfers. The makeup artist knocks again.
Come in.
She's surprised to see I've finished my lipstick myself.
Fix my veil for me.
The veil belonged to my mother, light as mist. I sat in front of the vanity mirror. The woman in the glass was dressed in pure white, her veil falling soft to her waist. Her face was calm as still water. No one can tell a storm is raging inside her. The door opens. Alexander's voice.
Are you almost ready? The ceremony's starting.
He steps in, sees me, and freezes. Then his eyes redden, really reddened.
Megan, you're beautiful.
His voice cracks, like something stuck in his throat. I look into his teary eyes and a thought hits me. Are his tears real? With this man, what is even real? Maybe his acting is real. Maybe his teardrucks are real. I link my arm through Alexander's and walk down the aisle. Music, a string quartet playing canon. Guests on both sides stand and clap. Some gasp in delight. I see so many familiar faces. My father's old friends, business partners, college classmates. They're all smiling. They have no idea what's coming.
Nervous?
A little.
Don't be afraid. I'm here.
I look ahead at the white arch and the silver sea and think, yeah, you're here. Where you are is exactly where I should be most afraid. The aisle ends. The priest stands on the stage, opens the Bible, and begins the wedding vows.
Alexander, do you take Megan to be your lawfully wedded wife, to live together in matrimony, to love her, comfort her, honor and protect her, in sickness and in health, and forsaking all others, be faithful to her so long as you both shall live?
I do.
Megan, do you take Alexander to be your lawfully wedded husband, to live together in matrimony, to love him, comfort him, honor and protect him, in sickness and in health, and forsaking all others, be faithful to him so long as you both shall live?
I look at Alexander. He's smiling at me. The smile that made my heart skip 1,000 times in 3 years. But now I see not a smile, but the line from his chat with Sophia. She really is too easy to fool. I do. I open my mouth. I'm about to say something, but not I do. Before I answer, I'd like everyone to watch a video. Alexander's smile freezes. Their reactions are faster than I expected. Sophia stands up from the front row. Jack starts moving towards the door. But it's too late. The video is already casting on the big screen. The music of My Way flows from the speakers. First frame, the photo of me and my father. The room goes silent. Then the chat longs on the big screen. Alexander and Sophia. Sophia's profile picture is a pink rose. Messages highlighted in red. Get her to sign that invest month after marriage. Don't wait too long. She's harder to fool when she's sober. Time stamped months ago. Off the computer, but my hand is faster. I grip the power cord, not to unplug it, but to show everyone.
This computer isn't plugged in. It's casting from my phone. You can't turn it off.
We just need her to sign 3 to 5 documents in the first year after marriage, and we can transfer out 60% of the fund.
I've already opened the post-split accounts. Cayman Islands, Barrener bonds. Once the money goes in, no one can trace it.
Then the chat logs on the big screen, Alexander and Sophia. Sophia's profile picture is a pink rose. Messages highlighted in red. Get her to sign that investment agreement the first half marriage. Timestamp months ago. The hall erupts. People scream, curse, pull out phones to record. Sophia charges from the front row to grab my phone. Don't rush. There's one last page. Final frame of the video, a side shot of police at the hall entrance. Caption, they're already here.
Alexander stands frozen, like a tree struck by lightning. His lips move, but no sound comes out. Jack runs to the door and stops, because the door swings open from outside.
Jack Morris, Alexander Cooper, you're under arrest for financial fraud. Please come with us. You have the right to remain silent.
Sophia screams and turns to run backstage, but another officer stops her. I don't watch the whole arrest. I turn to face all the guests. 200 pairs of eyes on me. Shock, sympathy, pity, even Shahid or Faya. Thank you all for coming to my wedding today. I'm sorry, but there is no wedding. But there is one thing I want to do in front of all of you. These gifts were meant to bless Alexander and me, but now I'm donating them all to an organization called the Anti-Financial Fraud Foundation. It's founded at a year before he passed away, specifically to help ordinary people whose lives were destroyed by financial fraud. He once said, I can't help everyone, but I can help one person at a time. Please process the donation. I'll have this ring auctioned off. Proceeds go to the same foundation. Because this ring is not proof a man loves a woman. It's the perfect prop for a man to deceive a woman. I'll have this ring auctioned off. Proceeds go to the same foundation. Because this ring is not proof a man loves a woman. It's the perfect prop for a man to deceive a woman. After the wedding, I go back to the hotel room alone. I take off the wedding dress and change into to my own key in black pants. I fold the dress, put it in a bag, and hang it. I'll never wear it again, but I don't want to throw it away yet. Not out of nostalgia, and destroyed a plot with my own hands. My lawyer knocks and comes in. Come in. He shows me the donation confirmation. The foundation has received the first donation. He asks what I do next. Organize all evidence into a file and submit to the prosecutor's office. None of the three get away. Sophia is your cousin. Are you sure you want? She is a thief who stole my keys. Thieves have no kinship, only right and wrong. My phone won't stop rubbing. Social media has exploded. Someone posted the wedding video online, headlined "Exounds groom at wedding, millions of views." Comments split. Some call me a brave woman, others say we're ruined a man's life. I don't reply to any. I scroll and see Sophia's last text to me. Sent moment, I'm sorry, I was wrong. I type a few words, delete them. Type again, delete again. In the end, I send nothing. I throw my phone on the bed and walk to the balcony. Long Island Sound is beautiful at night. A few lit yachts floating on the water. I call the cemetery office where my father is buried. I'd like to visit him tomorrow. Please prepare a bouquet of white roses.
Ma'am, are you okay?
I'm fine. Better than... Early the next morning, I go to my father's grave. White roses lay before the tombstone, morning dew still fresh. I kneel down and run my fingers over his name. Thomas Harris. I talk to him like he's still here. I talk to him like he's still here. Dad, guess what? I didn't marry him. You said don't marry a man who's too smart. Marry one who's good to you. I didn't listen. But don't worry. I found out. Not too late. I'll protect your fund. Not a single dollar of the 300 million will be stolen. I scattered rose petals on the tombstone, and I wiped away the tears on my face. The wind is strong on the hill, blowing my hair everywhere. My phone rings. It's my lawyer.
Jack has confessed part of the truth to try for a lighter sentence. Sophia hired a lawyer and claims she was coerced into participating.
Coerced? She has chat logs, bank records, a signed profit split agreement. Which word says coerced?
It's her strategy, stall for time.
Then we'll stall with her. She can afford it. Can't I? I'm 28. I have plenty of time. I hang up and drive back to Manhattan. I pass the restaurant where we had our first date and glance at it. A little French place. Alexander said it was his favorite. Later, I learned he liked it because the owner was his client. He could sign tabs there. I shake my head and speed up. Some people and some places only belong in the rearview mirror. In the days that follow, I do several things. First, I review all trust fund documents and adjust signing authority. From now on, any withdrawal over $10,000 requires my personal confirmation and my lawyer's witness. Second, I hire a private security consultant to install a full surveillance system in my apartment. Not because I fear retaliation, but because I no longer believe in unbreakable walls. Third, I delete all photos and chat logs with Alexander from my phone. 3 years of chats, 23,000 messes. I scroll through them one by one, looking for any sign I should have doubted him. I find none. He was too perfect. A perfect man is the most dangerous man. After deleting the chat history, I went to a place, the office of the Anti-Financial Fraud Foundation. My father founded it, but I barely visited in years. It's in a Ninnisticure, Midtown Manhattan office building, only 5 staff members. Most victims they help are the elderly, immigrants, small business owners. Scams vary, but the core is the same, exploiting trust. I stand in the hallway, look at photos and cases on the wall, and suddenly realize what my father did was bigger than I thought. The director is Margaret, a woman in her 50s. She's surprised to see me.
Megan, what are you doing here?
I want to help. She looks at me for a moment.
Are you sure? You just went through fraud yourself.
That's why I know who to help and how.
First, listen to other people's stories. After you hear them, you'll realize you're not the worst off. It sounds cruel, but it's true.
I sit in the small office, put on headphones. First call, an elderly woman, 73, lost her entire retirement savings. A scammer pretended to be her grandson in a car accident in Canada, needing bail money. She sent $80,000, her and her husband's life savings. She cries and cries on the phone, can't finish a sentence. I hold the receiver, not knowing how to comfort her. Ma'am, give me the transfer account. I'll help you freeze it if I can. She gives it to me. I forwards it to my forensic accountant. Second call, a middle-aged man. His small company scammed out of $500,000 in a fake contract. Business collapsing, wife divorcing him.
I'm not calling for help. I just need someone to talk to. I have no one else. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for talking. That night, I go home, sit on the couch, and stare blankly. Those voices on the headsets still echo in my head. Alexander tried to steal $300 million from me, and I thought it was the worst thing in the world. But those elderly people, those small business owners, they lost everything. Suddenly realized my father didn't start this foundation for me to inherit money. He started it so I could see a bigger world, not just a world about me. The case against Alexander, Jack, and Sophia moves to the preliminary hearing. As the victim, I must testify in court. That day, I wear a dark navy suit, hair pulled back, light makeup. I don't want to appear as a hurt bride. I want to stand as a woman reclaiming justice. The courtroom is full. Reporters, Alexander's family, faces I don't recognize. When Alexander is brought in, I glance at him. When he sees me, there's something in his eyes. Not hate, not regret, but curiosity. He must be wondering, how did this woman find out? The prosecutor asks me questions.
What was your relationship to Alexander Cooper?
Former fiancé.
Did you sign any financial documents together?
No. He tried to have me sign a prenuptial agreement, but I refused, asking to discuss it after marriage.
Did you know Sophia Harris was your wedding planner?
Yes.
Did she have access to your personal financial information?
Yes. She was one of the information contacts for my trust fund, appointed by my father before he passed away. Every answer is the truth. No exaggeration, no drama. I just state what happened, one by one. Alexander doesn't look at me. He stares at the judge, expressionless. Sophia has a new lawyer, an experienced woman. She sits at the defense table, head down, hair covering half her face. After the preliminary hearing, I run into Sophia's lawyer in the hallway. Her name is Elizabeth, mid-40s, sharp demeanor. She stops me.
Mrs. Harris, I'd like to discuss a possible settlement.
Settlement? She deceived me for 2 years, conspired with my fiancé to drain father's legacy. Tell me, how?
Perhaps you can get a more dignified ending outside the courtroom.
The end of this trial is the only dignity I need. The trial date is set. In the meantime, I practically live at the foundation office. I learn to spot common scam patterns, help victims freeze accounts, communicate with banks, police, prosecutors.
You pick up fast.
Probably because I've been scammed too. I know how much it hurts. Once, a young girl comes to the foundation. Early 20s, pretty, but eyes full of exhaustion. She says a man scammed her. Claimed to be a private equity manager with an internal investment project, 30% annual return. I thought he really loved me. He was so good to me. She invested all $50,000 her parents saved for tuition. Then the man disappeared. I look at this girl and see myself not long ago. I pour her a glass of water, sit across from her. Don't be too hard on yourself. You're not stupid. You're kind. It's not your fault for being kind to the wrong person. It's his. She cries. I let her cry for a long time, then help her organize transfer records and submit them to the police. They recover part of the money, not enough for tuition, but enough to start over. That night, I go home, take a shower, lie in bed, stare at the ceiling. I suddenly remember the day Alexander proposed. He got down on one knee at the Central Park ice rink, everyone around clapping. When he put the ring on my finger, tears fell down my face. I thought they were happy tears. Now I know they were tears I shed for the future. The day of the trial finally comes. New York State Supreme Court, Courtroom 701. I arrive half an hour early, sit in the front row of the gallery. My lawyer Emily sits at the plaintiff's table. Alexander, Jack, and Sophia are brought in separately, each with counsel. The prosecution charges conspiracy to commit financial fraud, illegal asset transfer, document forgery, money laundering. Alexander's lawyer attempts a not guilty defense, saying chat logs and transfers don't prove his client had actual intent to defraud. Emily stands up and presents evidence to the jury, page by page. Members of the jury, look here. Emails between defendants Alexander Cooper and Jack Mortis. They clearly reference a fund transfer plan disguise an investment project, victim's window, and post-host fund concealment plan. These are not business negotiations. This is a carefully planned crime. Alexander's lawyer stands to object, but the judge bangs the gavel and tells her to sit. When it's Sophia's lawyer's turn, Elizabeth stands. She doesn't plead not guilty, she pleads guilty, asking the court to consider Sophia's role as an accomplice under Alexander's emotional manipulation for leniency. I flinch when I hear emotional manipulation. I know Sophia was used by Alexander, but she also participated willingly. Emotional manipulation doesn't erase her betrayal of me. Sophia sits at the defense table and finally looks up at me. Her eyes are red. I look away, not because I'm cruel, but because I'm afraid I'll soften. The trial lasts several days. On the final day, the last witness takes the stand, me. I walk to the witness stand, raise my right hand, and swear on the Bible.
Mrs. Harris, please state the facts as you know them.
2 years ago, my cousin Sophia told me she'd met a nice man and wanted to introduce him to me. That man was Alexander Cooper. He was gentlemanly, humorous, respectful when we first met. I thought I'd met the right person. A year later, he proposed. I said yes. I told him everything about me, including the trust fund my father left me. He said he'd protect me, take care of me, never let anyone hurt me. I believed him. My throat goes dry. The judge hands me a cup of water. I drink and continue. Later, I found out my cousin, my fiancé, and my best man were plotting behind my back for 2 years. They made a group chat just to discuss how to steal my money. My cousin gave them all my passwords. My fiancé prepared full legal documents to have me sign after marriage. My best man opened accounts in the Cayman Islands. It's all in the evidence you've seen. Someone in the jury gets teary-eyed. When I step down, Alexander's lawyer doesn't cross-examine me. He knows any question will only make me tell more truth. On sentencing day, the courtroom is even more packed.
Alexander gets 9 years in prison. Jack, 7 years. Sophia, 5 years. Do you intend to proceed with the appeal?
We will consider.
No appeal. Deputies lead the 3 away. Alexander walks past me. He doesn't look at me. Neither do I. We once had 3 years of intimacy, trust, commitment. But in this moment, it all blows away like dust. Jack keeps his head down and walks fast. On sentencing day, the courtroom is even more packed. Sophia lags behind. She stops in front of me. I think she'll say something, but she says nothing, just stands there, tears rolling down her face. I look at her. She's 4 years younger than me. We grew up together, slept in the same bed, wore the same clothes. She said she'd be godmother to my children. Now she's a convicted felon. I open my mouth to say something, but all words get stuck in my throat. She turns and follows. Leaving the courtroom, I lean against the wall and take 3 deep breaths.
Do you need anything? No, I want to be alone.
I stand in the empty courtroom hallway for a long time. Sunlight streams through high windows, drawing a bright rectangle on the floor. I stand inside that rectangle, warm all over. Media coverage of the case is overwhelming for a long time. Magazines want me on the cover, TV stations want interviews, publishers want my memoir. I turn them all down. I don't want to package my pain into a consumable story. Some things are not meant to be shared. They're meant to be let go. But I do one thing. I start a column on the Foundation's website called After the Scam. I write about my experience, not as a victim, but as a survivor. I write about how I found out, fought back, stand up from the ruins. At the end of every post, I attach a help link for people in similar situations. After the first post, I get thousands of emails. Some thank me, some call me a clout chaser, some share their stories, some just say I get it. I reply to every single one. Not mass messages, but typed manually. Every reply starts with, I hear you. You are not alone. You're out of your mind. Answering that many emails alone will burn you out. It won't kill me. If someone holds on one more day because of my words, it's worth it. Later, I hire a part-time assistant to help. The foundation adds 3 helplines. Still not enough. So many people get scammed. Everyone who picks up the phone once thought they'd met the right person, just like me. Later, I make a decision. I step down from my foundation position, not because I'm quitting, but because I have a better idea. I used part of my father's money to launch the Anti-Financial Fraud Education Center. It doesn't run helplines. It offers free in-person classes, teaching young people to spot investment scams, protect personal information, read hidden contract clauses. The first class is held at a Manhattan Public Library branch. 30 people show up. College students, young professionals, a few retirees. I stand at the front and talk for an hour. I teach common scammer lines, guaranteed returns, once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I teach how to check if a company is legally registered, how to spot hidden clauses. I also tell my story, not for sympathy, but to show them scammers don't wear signs. They have good looks, smooth talk, perfect acting. After class, a 20-year-old boy comes up to me.
Mrs. Harris, I almost got scammed out of $50,000 by a crypto investment group. They told me to invest all my savings, said it would triple in 3 months. I hesitated, then read your column. Your line woke me up. If something sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Thank you.
Don't thank me. Thank yourself for choosing to trust yourself, not the scammer. pretend it already has. Sometime later, I get a second letter from Sophia, this time 2 pages long, full of childhood memories. We headed to Disney together. I completely broke down crying out of fear on the roller coaster, and she pressed my head gently into her shoulder to comfort me. Knowing Alexander wasn't good, but craving the feeling of being needed, so she helped him trick me. Last line, I'm not making excuses. I'm just explaining why I became someone I don't even recognize.
音频由 AI 生成。
Later, I go to one place, the prison where Sophia is incarcerated. Not a visit, to join a victim offender dialogue program. I apply voluntarily.
It's unusual. Usually offenders request to apologize.
I don't need her apology. I need my own answer. We're placed in a small room separated by glass. When Sophia is brought in, I barely recognize her. Short hair, pale skin, no makeup, gray prison uniform. She sees me freeze for a few seconds, then tears start falling. I don't cry. I watch her cry until she's done.
Are you okay?
She nods, wiping tears with the back of her hand.
You've lost weight.
She smiles, a smile like the one she gave me when she found me hiding as kids.
The food's bad in here.
I smile too. Not a relieved laugh, but a soft, wind-over-water smile. I nod. That's the answer I need. Not I'm sorry, not I was wrong. But I was jealous you still believed. Because it means she knows what she lost.
I came to ask you one thing. If I hadn't found your plan that day and the wedding went on, you watched me vows with Alexander on stage, what would you have felt?
Sophia is quiet for a long time, her fingers twist together, knuckles white. Finally, she says,
I would have been jealous. Not jealous you married him. Jealous you still had the ability to trust people.
After meeting Sophia, I go to one place, the ice rink at Central Park, where Alexander proposed. It's summer, rink closed, flat concrete. Kids ride scooters, elders sunbathe on benches. I stand at the edge and watch the kids for a long time. I think, what if I never got that anonymous email? I would have said my vows, exchanged rings, signed that surprise investment agreement at the reception. I would have noticed irregularities later, but most of the money would already gone. I would have confronted Alexander, and he would have lied. Honey, it's normal investment fluctuation, and coaxed me into signing more. I would have gone bankrupt years later with nothing, not even my father's foundation. That unopened email, the password I cracked by chance, the 3 minutes I picked up the phone to call my lawyer, they changed my life. Not because I was lucky, but because I chose to open my eyes at the last second. The sun sets, and Manhattan's skyline lights up. I walk home along the paths of Central Park. I don't stop at the bench where we first kissed. I don't need memories to know I'm alive. I am alive, right now, present tense. The Anti-Financial Fraud Education Center grows better and better. We have 5 full-time instructors and 12 part-time volunteers. Classes jump from 30 a year to 200. We go to community centers, high schools, universities, churches, libraries, even companies for internal training. Scammers update their tricks, and we update our courses too. Scammers update their tricks, and we update our courses too. One moment makes me proudest. An email from a high school student. He says he learned to spot fiending emails in our class, then found a fake bank email in his mother's inbox. He told her not to click the link, but to call the bank directly. The bank said the link was fake. Clicking it would have emptied her account. I saved all my mom's savings. I cried when I read it, not out of sentiment, but because I finally understand what my father's foundation was really for. It wasn't to recover stolen money. It was to keep people from being scammed in the first place. Margaret says to me at the annual meeting, your father would say, Megan, you've done better than me. I shake my head. He did 1,000,000 times better. I'm just walking on the road he paved. But that day, I accept Margaret's offer and become chair of the foundation's board. Later, I get a call. It's Alexander, calling from prison. I don't know how he got my number, but I know he finds ways. There are always ways in prison. I answered the phone. His voice is different. Deep, horsey, like sandpaper rubbing wood.
I just wanted to hear your voice.
You've heard it. What now?
I know you'll never forgive me, but I want to tell you something. I've scammed many people, not just you. You're the third. The other 2 were my ex-girlfriend and my college mean mate. They were both good people.
Why are you telling me this?
Because I have too much time in here. Too much time to think everything over. I finally realize I didn't scam people because I needed money. I did it because it was too easy. Especially people who trusted me. Their trust was like an open door.
He hangs up. I put my phone away and looked out the window at the Manhattan skyline. He's right. Trust is the most expensive currency. And once it's gone, it can never be earned back. Later, I expand the education center to Boston and Philadelphia. I personally teach the first class at every new center. I want everyone who comes to know I'm not telling someone else's story. I'm telling my own. After the first class in Philadelphia, a man comes up to me and hands me a business card. He's David Chen, head of compliance at a Philadelphia bank.
He read my story online and admires my courage. If we can partner to give anti-fraud training to his bank's customers.
Yes, we set a time to discuss details. David is quiet, but his eyes are bright, like he has many stories. Later, I learn his father was scammed out of $120,000 by someone pretending to be the IRS. His father fell into depression and died 2 years later.
I never had your courage. I was too afraid to talk about it. But you make me think maybe talking about it is the right thing to do.
We start working together. The customer training is well received. Many elderly people say no one ever taught them this before. David and I gradually become friends. Not the kind who talk every day, but the kind who meet occasionally and talk for hours. He never judges my past. He just listens. When I get worked up, he hands me a glass of water and says, "Finished?" I say, "Yes." He says, "Good. Let's go eat." One spring later, David and I get together. Not a passionate love, but slow, like water seeping into sand. We rarely say sweet nothings. Mostly we talk about work, news, books we've read, but he orders delivery to my office when I work late. He waits for me at the station with a hot coffee when I lecture in Philadelphia. One night, we drink wine on his apartment balcony. Don't you think my past is too heavy?
Your past is part of you. I don't love someone with no past.
He doesn't get upset. He places my hand in his and says,
You can doubt. You can doubt forever. I won't leave just because you doubt me.
Cry, not out of sorrow, but the feeling of finally being caught after a long fall. I lean on his shoulder and cry for a long time. He says nothing, just gently pats my back. I told Margaret about it later.
Megan, you're finally not the only character in your story.
I nod. My father was right. The money gave me the courage to never bow to anyone. But what money couldn't give me, David did. He gave me a new kind of trust. Not blind, wide-open trust, but guarded trust, built little by little. This kind of trust is stronger. Later, Sophia is released from prison. She doesn't contact me, but I get a notification from the prison system. I hesitate for a few days, then go to her place, a small apartment building in Queens. The building is old, hallway lights flickering. I knock. I stand there for a long time, about to leave, when the door opens. Sophia stands in the doorway, in loungewear, hair tied casually. She sees me, freezes, then her eyes re-reading. Megan? I was just passing by, stopped to see if you're okay. I'm not. I walk in, the door closes behind me. The apartment is tiny, 1 bedroom and 1 living room, secondhand furniture but clean. On the coffee table lies a job hunting guide, open to common interview questions. We sit on the sofa. She tells me she got a job as a convenience store cashier, $15 an hour. She rents this small apartment for $1,100 a month. The rest barely covers food and transport. I used to look down on this kind of life. Now I think being safe every day is lucky enough. I look at her and realize the distance between us isn't years, it's a lifetime. She took a completely different road and came back. But the way back is 1,000,000 times harder than the way out. I don't reconcile with Sophia, but I start visiting her once a month. Not forgiveness, not reconciliation, just I'm here, with coffee or a box of donuts. We sit in her small apartment and talk about trivial things, weather, work, a new Chinese restaurant nearby. Once I arrive and see a photo on her wall, a childhood picture of us at Disneyland, wearing Mickey Mouse ears, smiling silly. I stand there and look for a long time. This is the only thing I kept from before. I kept it in my bag, afraid to hang it. I hung it a few days ago. I think no matter who I became, that little girl was real. She laughed. I nod. I don't say you were real too, because I know the her now's also real, just carrying things I don't want to know. When I leave, she stands at the door and says, "Drive safe." No one can go back to the past, but some people, even if they lost their way, meet again on a future road. No one can go back to the past. But some people, even if they lost their Ren, meet again on a future road. The Anti-Financial Fraud Education Center opens branches across the country, training tens of thousands every year. The conference room is small. 20-some people sit around a long table. Government officials, bankshedegvits, and a few civilians like me. When it's my turn, I speak for 3 things. First, the core of anti-fraud education isn't teaching people how to avoid lonely. Third, building a society where victims dare to speak up is more important than increasing penalties.
Miss, how has your personal experience this work?
It taught me that the worst part of being scammed isn't losing money, it's trust in people. And losing trust in people is harder to fix than losing money. So what we do isn't just financial education, it's trust repair. After the meeting, many people shake my hand and exchange cards. I take them one by one and file them into my contacts later. That night, I stay in a Washington hotel, the Washington Monument glowing outside my window.
How did
I call
it go?
David. Good. They're listening.
Because you deserve to be heard.
I smile. I never used to believe words like that, but now I'm starting to. Later, David and I get married. Not a grand wedding, just a civil ceremony at City Hall, then dinner with a few friends. No White Rose Arch, no 200 guests, no Long Island Sound view. Just a blank-faced clerk at City Hall and a bouquet of sunflowers I bought at a roadside flower shop. I wear an off-white dress. Not luxury, bought at a small shop in Brooklyn. David wears a dark navy suit, picked on sale at the mall. Margaret is our witness.
Do you take Megan to be your lawfully wedded wife?
I do.
Do you take David to be your lawfully wedded husband?
I do.
This time, I don't think about playing video for answering. My I do, unguarded, no backup plan needed. When David puts the ring on my finger, his hand is steady, his palm is warm. He's not a god, not a hero, just an ordinary man who will buy me medicine late at night, apologize first after a fight, and listen to all my fears, then say I'm here. I look at him and see a man who won't exploit my trust, plot behind my back, or stab me when I'm happiest. After marriage, my life doesn't change dramatically. I'm still chair of the Anti-Financial Fraud Education Center, still teach 1 or 2 classes a week, still visit Sophia once a month. David is still a bank compliance director, still quiet, still sends delivery to my office when I work late. The only change, we start planning for a baby. It reminds me of a conversation with Alexander years ago. He said, wait until you're stable to think about kids. That was a lie. Now when David says, we'll talk about it when you're ready, I know it's true. Because he doesn't say when you're stable, he says when you're ready. Stability is passive, readiness is active. I took a long time to change, from a scammed bride to a teacher who teaches others to avoid scams, from someone whose trust was broken to someone who helps others rebuild trust, from a woman who played evidence at her wedding to a wife who calmly says I do at City Hall. Most of the $300 million my father left remains in the trust. Another part funds the education center. I'm not rich, not poor, I became useful. That's a little less than my father hoped, but a lot more than I once hoped for myself. Later, David and I have a daughter named Emily. She can't say many words, but she already points at my photo and says, Mom, what would he say if he saw this? Megan, you finally have your own home? Or Megan, you understand life better than I did? I don't know, but I know he would like David. David never pretends to be someone big. He just is himself. And that's what my father admired most. People who are themselves. Sophia worked as a convenience store cashier for a few years, got an accounting certificate, and now does part-time bookkeeping at a small company. She saves a little every month. She says when she has enough, she'll get a proper accounting degree at community college. I can lend her the money. No, money I earn myself feels safe. I look at her, fine lines at her corners, rough hands from years of work, but she stands straight. Every year on my old wedding anniversary, I don't celebrate with David. And instead I go alone to one place, Long Island Sound, the hotel where my wedding was supposed to be. I stand by the sea, watch for a while, then leave. Not nostalgia, remembrance. Remember I almost married the wrong person, almost lost my father's legacy, almost become a bitter woman who never trusts again. But I didn't. I chose to stand up, turn pain into strength, and build a new house on the ruins. That house isn't big, but it's strong. Inside live David, Emily, Margaret, every instructor and student at the center. And also the woman who once wore a wedding dress and played evidence on the big screen. That woman I once was. Now I'm another woman, standing by the sea, wind in my hair, holding the hand of a 3-year-old girl. Waves hit the sand in a steady rhythm.
Mom, boat.
Yes, a boat. It's going far away.
Did Mom go far away too?
I did. I went very far, and I came back.
Why come back?
Because someone was waiting for me here. Emily doesn't understand, but she smiles. She smiles like I did at Disneyland as a kid, wearing Mickey Mouse ears. A whole, unhurt smile. I hold her and turn back to the parking lot. The sea wind pushes me from behind, like my father's hand. I once thought fixing trust takes a long time. Now I know fixing trust has no end. Every day is a new try. To trust the people around you won't hurt you. To trust your own judgment. To trust there are still good people in the world. It's hard, but worth it. because not believing is more tiring than believing. I open the car door and put Emily in her car seat. She holds her stuffed rabbit and starts singing, a tune she made up. No words, just la la la. I start the car and back out of the spot. In the rearview mirror, Long Island Sound glints in the sun. I don't look back for long, because I'll come again. Not as the scammed bride, but as a woman who was here, left, and came back with new life. A woman who walked down from a wedding and didn't live happily ever after. A woman who lived happily ever after as every single day. The car pulls onto the highway. Emily falls asleep in the back. I turned on the music. My Way is playing, my father's favorite song. I did not change the music.
And now the end is near.
I listen to the line, then I smile. This isn't the end. It's just another beginning. I've come a long way, my way, and I'll keep going, my way. With David, with Emily, with Sophia, with Margaret, and many people whose names I don't know. They don't need me to save them. I don't need them to save me. We just walk together, and that is enough.